A long time ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king, a queen, and their little daughter, Princess Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. One day the queen became very sick and sadly died. The king was lonely, so he married again. But no one knew that the new queen was a cruel and jealous witch. She was also very vain. The queen had a magic mirror. Every day she asked it, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always answered, "You are the fairest of them all, my queen." As years passed, Snow White grew up. She became more beautiful, kind, and sweet. Everyone loved her except the queen. She was afraid Snow White would become more beautiful than her. After the king died, the queen forced Snow White to wear old clothes and work like a servant. She cleaned the castle, washed the floors, and did all the hard work. But Snow White never complained. She was always kind and gentle. One day the queen asked the mirror again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" This time the mirror said, "Snow White is the fairest now." The queen was furious. She wanted to be the most beautiful forever. She called her best hunter and gave him a terrible order. "Take Snow White into the forest, kill her and bring me her heart in a box." The next day the hunter took Snow White for a walk in the woods, but he could not hurt her. "Princess," he said, "the queen wants me to kill you, but I can't. I watched you grow up. I was loyal to your father." "The queen, but why?" Snow White asked. "I don't know, but please run. Never go back to the castle. She may try again to kill you." Snow White was scared. She ran through the dark forest crying. She had nowhere to go. To trick the queen, the hunter killed a deer and put its heart in a box. He gave it to the queen. She was very happy. She thought Snow White was dead. That night, Snow White found a small, cute cottage deep in the forest. Everything inside was tiny, like it belonged to children, but the house was messy and dirty. Snow White cleaned everything. She washed the dishes, swept the floor, and made the beds. Upstairs she found 7 small beds. She pushed them together, lay down, and fell fast asleep. Later the owners of the house came home. They were 7 dwarfs who worked in the mountains. When they saw the clean house and the girl sleeping upstairs, they were surprised. Snow White woke up and told them her story. The dwarfs felt sorry for her. "You can stay here with us," they said. "You are safe here." Snow White was happy. She stayed with the dwarfs. She cooked, cleaned, and sang songs. They became good friends. One day the queen asked her mirror again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror answered, "Snow White is still the fairest. She lives with the 7 dwarfs." The queen was angry again. She made a magic poison and put it inside a beautiful red apple. Then she used a spell to become an old woman. "One bite of this apple," she said, "and Snow White will sleep forever." The next day, when the dwarfs went to work, Snow White stayed home. The old woman came to the window. "Hello, dear child," she said. "Would you like an apple?" Snow White smiled kindly. "Come in, please. Would you like a glass of water?" "Thank you, you're so sweet," the old woman said. "Here, take this special apple. It's a gift." Snow White took a bite of the apple and immediately fell to the floor. She didn't move. She didn't wake up. The forest animals saw everything and ran to tell the dwarfs. They came back quickly, but it was too late. The queen had already escaped. While she ran away, the queen slipped and fell into a deep ravine. She never returned. The dwarfs found Snow White on the floor. She looked like she was sleeping. They were heartbroken. They built a beautiful glass coffin and placed her in a sunny clearing in the forest. They stayed by her side day and night, hoping she would wake up someday. One day a prince from a nearby kingdom came through the forest. He saw Snow White and fell in love with her at first sight. "She is so beautiful," he said. "May I take her to my castle? I will care for her and never leave her." The dwarfs agreed, but when they lifted the coffin, it slipped. The piece of apple stuck in Snow White's throat came out, and she woke up. Everyone was surprised and overjoyed. Snow White looked at the prince and smiled. They fell in love instantly. She said goodbye to the 7 dwarfs and went with the prince to his kingdom. They got married and lived happily ever after.